Today, we are going to talk about Kandahar, a CIA operative who is involved in a covert mission to destroy a nuclear facility in Iran. However, things go wrong when his identity is exposed and he has to flee across the border to Afghanistan. Will they make it to the extraction point in time, or will they be caught in the crossfire of a geopolitical conflict? Let's find out in this recap of Kandahar. In the middle of the calm desert in Iran, CIA agents Tom Harris and Oliver Alterman install internet and telephone networks at a suspected nuclear facility. They infiltrate an underground nuclear reactor plant and install a device that enables the CIA to collect vital data. They disguise themselves as internet service company mechanics. While installing devices, one soldier suspects Tom, leading to a tense standoff. Tom uses a live soccer broadcast to prove their cover. The Iranian guards become more suspicious of them, but Tom and Oliver manage to evade them after completing their mission. Meanwhile, the CIA gathers extensive footage of the nuclear reactor plant where the Iranian government is secretly developing nuclear weapons. On his way to the safe house, Oliver fears being killed by Iranian forces if they discover the truth. Tom and Oliver successfully relocate to their safe house. Tom calls his wife, Karini. They talk about their daughter's graduation ceremony, where Tom needs to be present. During the conversation, it's revealed that Karini has already found a new partner and discusses the divorce papers that need to be signed. In the next scene, the CIA orchestrates an explosion that results in the destruction of the entire nuclear reactor plant within seconds. Tom was relived and happy to complete the mission, now leaving for home. Meanwhile, Iranian authorities have been surveilling Luna Khujai, a British journalist based in Iran. She receives insider information about the CIA's systematic interference with Iran's nuclear projects. After the facility's destruction, she is detained by Iranian security. She shares her suspicions with the Iranians about a potential correlation between the facility's destruction and a Belgian contractor due to the strategic placement of its contracts near critical government sites. In the next scene, we meet a man named Mohammed arrives at Herat International Airport in Afghanistan. He appears nervous as he undergoes security screening before entering the country. After successfully passing the security check, a car picks him up. During the car ride, Mohammed receives a call from someone named Roman, a CIA agent. Roman is the person who will assist Mohammed in entering Afghanistan and offer him a job as an interpreter. Mo also has own agenda to search for his wife's sister in Herat, who used to be a teacher in a school. At Dubai Airport, Tom received a message from his CIA handler Roman and asked Tom to meet his residence to discuss some mission. Roman offers him a deal. Roman promises to pay Tom any amount he wants if he agrees to do a mission for him in 3 days. Tom, who needs money, first says no to the offer. But Roman knows about Tom's personal problems, including the money he needs for his daughter's school fees, and keeps trying to convince him. It turns out that Roman has been listening to Tom's phone calls and knows all about his personal life. In the end, because of his money problems and the urgency of the mission, Tom agrees to Roman's offer. In a dimly lit room, Nasir Khalil, a Pakistani intelligence agent, meets with his Taliban allies. He discusses the current situation of the Taliban and their future plans with Rasul. Tom and Mohammed arrived at a safe house in Afghanistan. Mohammed asked Tom about his mission, but Tom did not answer. Roman also did not tell Mohammed about the mission he was going to carry out with Tom. Luna's leaked documents expose Tom and Oliver. Identity names Tom as the operative responsible for the destruction of the nuclear facility, and his friend Oliver is caught and killed by Iranian agents. With his cover now blown, the mission in Herat is aborted. Roman directs Tom and his translator Mohammed to an extraction point in Kandahar. Tom is being targeted by the Taliban army, Iranian agents, Pakistani intelligence, ISIS, and Al-Qaeda. If any of them catch him, he will be sold to the highest bidder. The ISI leader contacts Agent Khalil, informing him of their new target. They must capture Tom before anyone else does. Nasir, determined to salvage the mission, instructed his team to regroup, find the targets discreetly, and bring them in at any cost. Tom and Mohammed begin their escape. Before they know it, Iranian agents are on their tail. Tom goes into a market to switch cars, but the agents are aware of his plan. After a while, Tom's car gets stuck in traffic. Behind them, Colonel Fazard and his troops are closing in. On the other side, Nasir, who is revealed to be an ISI agent from Pakistan, is also getting closer. Tom accidentally hits the car in front of him, causing the owner to get angry and attract attention. Realizing he's being followed, Tom speeds up. Seeing an Iranian agent approaching, he makes a quick turn, causing the agent to crash. However, he was unexpectedly cornered by another car. With no alternatives, Tom collided with it and managed to escape. Tom and Mo's journey hit another delay when their tire blew out. Mohammed, visibly scared, initially planned to abandon Tom. However, hearing Tom fire at someone, he returned. It turned out Tom had fired at a child. Tom instructed Mohammed to tell the boy to drop the object he was holding and leave. The object, which Tom picked up, was a remote control for a mine planted in the road ahead of their car. Tom contacted Roman to seek assistance from Ismail Lebroni, the leader of the Taliban group. Their plan was to borrow a helicopter to leave the country. Meanwhile, Nasir, who was still in pursuit, learned of Tom's location from the young boy who had previously held the remote for the mine. Tom and Mohammed navigated through the desert, reaching a main road later that night. To evade detection, they refrained from using the car's lights, with Tom relying on night vision for guidance. Their journey was suddenly halted when Colonel Fazard's helicopter attacked their vehicle. The attack forced them to leave the main road as their view was blocked by bullets hitting the car. The continuous gunfire eventually caused their car to break down, forcing them to continue on foot while still under fire from the helicopter. Additional forces from the helicopter chased them, but Tom managed to take them down. He then used Mohammed as a distraction to divert the helicopter's attention. As the helicopter prepared to aim at Mohammed, Tom fought back with a grenade. Back at the CIA headquarters, Chris was monitoring the situation but lost contact with Tom. At night, Tom gave his jacket to Mohammed for him to pray, and he also gave some of his food to Mohammed to break his fast. It then shared stories about their respective families. Tom and Mohammed were unexpectedly picked up by Ismail's men. Mohammed was shocked to discover that Ismail Rabbani, the warlord they were seeking help from, was the one Tom had contacted. They were taken to Ismail's headquarters, where they learned that his helicopter had been borrowed by the Taliban. Ismail offered them his truck instead. During a meal together, Mohammed accused Ismail of being a traitor. He claimed that Ismail was responsible for the destruction of Herod, his birthplace, and the deaths of thousands of women and children, including his own son. In response, Ismail handed his gun to Mohammed, offering him the chance to take revenge. However, Mohammed chose not to shoot him. This revelation left Mohammed deeply disappointed in Tom, who had unknowingly befriended the man responsible for his son's death. Tom, unaware of this, apologized to Mohammed and offered to reject Ismail's help if that's what Mohammed wanted. In the end, Mohammed agreed to use Ismail's truck to continue their journey. However, Ismail betrayed them by informing the Pakistanis of Tom's destination. Nasir, who had received information from his boss, informed Rasul, a Taliban leader, about Tom and Mohammed's location. Unaware that they had been betrayed by Ismail, Tom and Mohammed were ambushed and captured by the Taliban. They were taken to the Taliban headquarters, where Mohammed was tortured. Tom and Afghan special forces, disguised as ISIS, launch a surprise attack on a Taliban base. A violent clash ensues between the two groups, and Roman's team emerges victorious. Roman steps out of his military vehicle, gun in hand, and takes down Rasul with a single shot. Roman rescues Tom and Mo from their imprisonment, thanking the Afghan forces for their support. The trio escapes the devastated base and sets their sights on Kandahar. Nasir, who had just arrived, quickly realized that it wasn't ISIS who attacked Rasul and his troops, but the Afghan special forces. He spotted Roman and Tom leaving and immediately contacted the Taliban and other units to pursue them. Tom and Roman, realizing they were being followed, ended up in another firefight. Unfortunately, Roman was hit and threw himself in front of Nasir's car in an attempt to block it, but was shot dead by Nasir. Nasir then chased Tom on his motorcycle and ordered a mortar team to fire at Tom and Muhammad's car. As Tom neared the border gate, mortar fire continued to rain down on them until one of the shots hit Tom's car. Nasir quickly ran towards Tom and a fierce firefight ensued. Despite being shot in the gut, Tom managed to take down Nasir. Taliban troops began closing in from all directions, and both Tom and Muhammad had no choice but to surrender. Back at the CIA headquarters, Christ ordered a pilot to carry out a bombing to clear the way for Tom and Muhammad. He was aware that his order was overstepping his authority, but he didn't care if he was fired. He didn't want any more of his people to die. Just as Tom and Muhammad seemed to have given up, with the Taliban troops closing in, they saw an airplane dropping bombs on the Taliban troops. This allowed Tom and Mo to make their escape on a British military cargo plane from Kandahar. It appears that Nasir survived the blast. The body of the Iranian team leader was returned to his widow in Iran. The detained British journalist was set free. Tom had a heartwarming reunion with his daughter, while Mo was able to reunite with his wife and son.